Welcome to News Alert on Capital Television.
Revenue from gold in the first quarter of this year has declined by some 36%. The Chamber of Mines says this situation is very worrying for the revenue generation stream of the country and investors in the industry. This situation also accounts for the weakening of the Ghanaian currency. Experts say that a larger revenue flow from the export of the country's mineral resources, especially gold, serves as a pillar of strength for the country's economy, particularly the stability of the cedi. But in recent times, the price of gold has been declining on the international market, thereby affecting returns on production. The acting chief executive of the Chamber of Mines, Suleiman Nukoni, describes the situation as very alarming. He told Capital News that there needs to be a concerted effort on the part of the managers of the economy to drive the industry with the right policies in order to deal with the current challenges that confront the country and the industry.
The primary reason for the slump, I would say, has to do with external factors in terms of the fact that this is a commodity, its prices are actually out of the hands of the mining industry in this country, and therefore we are actually exposed to the vagaries of the commodity prices which you find in the global arena. So it's one of the major reasons. The other reason, of course, has to do with the kind of policies and the pulse of the nation as a whole, how we see the mining industry, whether we see the mining industry as a strategic partner within the sector, whether we want to see the mining industry grow and develop and help develop this country. If generally the feeling is that the mining industry is not an able partner and is not really helping with the development of this country, and that governments should try and extract a lot more from the mining industry. Generally what happens is that, yes, in the short term, government may be able to get a lot more revenue from the mining industry, but in the medium to long term, this is what you would find.
The members of the Ghana Traders Union Association, GUTA, have called off their 4-day strike to protest against the involvement of foreigners in retail businesses and certain economic policies by the government, which the members say are collapsing their businesses. The GUTA members also mentioned high rate of taxes at the port as part of their protest. They closed their shops in parts of Accra and Kumasi to register their displeasure. However, after meeting the Minister of Trade and Industry, the GUTA members agreed to open their shops while they await action by the government on the issues raised. Effort to speak to the leadership of GUTA to seek their impression of how government officials dealt with them proved unsuccessful, as they were locked up in a meeting with members of Parliamentary Select on Trade and Industry. A visit to the market saw shops opened for businesses. As the fuel shortage, which has hit some parts of Accra, continues into the third day, drivers with limited supply in their car tank continue to roam the capital in search of fuel, while those without any have parked their vehicles at some fuel stations for days. The visibly frustrated drivers lamented the difficulties they've had to endure because of the fuel shortages. The news team gathered some drivers have been in queues since dawn, with some engaging in fights to get the product.
The other private ones, they are hiding the products so that they'll be able to, tally with the new prices that will be coming up, and which is very, very bad.
Petrol semana they about say 3 days. Yes, only be do about 5 o'clock. And say that's dilemma. Yeah, entiase. It's a gallon no crown or mubu gallon no crossing here castle. The Saban say, oh, one home na petrol, no baby will be on maybe mra. Yeah, bro, mem. They don't have not a one qua obey then. What you do with the number?
I'm working with a certain company in town, but it was about 3 days ago that I shot a fuel at around airport. So I decided to drive my motorbike to airport the Shell filling station, but there was a match queue. So I decided there was much queue. So I decided that no, I'll drive to my area and buy it. So when I got to Accra side, there was no fuel all over. So up to date, it's about 3 days or 4 days now. We have not been getting fuel. And it's not about food, it's through transport. If you don't have transport, how do you get food? And as at now, I've not gone to work. My boss has been calling over and over. I can't go to work because there's no way I can get money to fuel. I can get fuel to transport myself to work site. So we are suffering. We are pleading with the government to do something about it.
Gashi 1 week but some petrol bo. Ya da kule petrol kuma ko petrol ba so abam petrol ya won life kina ke so agodan no. Mamuno muka vote muka bar kazama mutu ya bar muna gajiya ni.
Meanwhile, the station manager of the Total service station at Latebi Okoshi has explained that the shortage is making work difficult, indicating that because of rumors that they are hoarding fuel, police officials came inspecting their facilities but found they were selling the stock they have. He urged stakeholders to settle arrears they owe the bulk distribution companies so that fuel stations can get their supplies.
It is getting worse and worse. Luckily, I was having some, as I told you, we are still selling. Yesterday, 3 days ago, the line was normal, but yesterday it became very bad. So we have to stop for more than 4 times. It came to a time the police people were going around to check whether we have product and we are hoarding. When they came, they saw that the super we don't have. We have diesel. They went to the Super FMX, we had stock, but we are not selling. So they asked us, and even the customers told them they are preventing us from selling. The customers said they are preventing us from selling. And after that, they left one of their men to monitor the place. But he could not, one person, he could not monitor the people. I was having stock over the weekend. Yes, for 2 weeks, for 1 week, my order has not come. But luckily, I was having overstock. You know, that product is a little expensive, so they don't buy it. For a day, I sell 100 and at least 200 liters a day, sometimes 20 liters a day. But as at now, 3 days, I sold about 7,000. Yesterday, I sold about 7,000. Provided they allow me, I could have sold more than 12,000 yesterday. So I'm now left with about 4,000. And by if the line becomes normal, by 12/1, it will get finished.
The Accra Metropolitan Assembly has warned residents in and around the city of a possible cholera outbreak. In a press statement, the Assembly has asked residents to be mindful of what they consume. The Assembly blamed the possibility of the epidemic on shortage of water in parts of the city, which could force some people to fall on any source of water for their activities. Besides the water shortage, the city is also engulfed in huge filth, which also poses health hazards to residents. For the first time in a World Cup tournament, the Black Stars of Ghana could not advance to the round of 16. In yesterday's encounter with Portugal, the Stars lost to 1-2. Many people are blaming their poor performance on the lack of commitment on the part of the players and indiscipline in the camp of the Stars. Capital News seeks the views of football fans whether the coach, Kwesi Appiah, should be retained as coach or sacked from his post.
Nyama bi na nkwe na uma Ghana fo ye film na nyama me kan say mpenifo na ye do omokoye no omo anya de because of boys no mkobo ball no bibi o ho a o say boys need to make can o say mpenifo na to omo ase because obi a ye adwuma na o ye no o say o hye na film se na be ye obetumi aren aye adwuma no ye se nipa na ye adwuma na se we bi a wa ma no ade na oye no wa ma na ankoso anya adwuma na esa na onya bi mfa anya adwuma no
ase abia de ye ne sa ye be kan say won to aso nya adwuma bi company from the selection man in US for we bo we Germany na em say central for we selection ma kwasi abia fire na boy na abufu place ni bi go bi tini popo na yan da chin kwatana bench no nyi wini bonus no YouTube na abra wuti ade de ma ba we tilapia yan da chin mo ria so
na so what as say sisia wo ya hie ni ne ba na so ni sika wan force of ball so was select is a ball was select for one bar and ya yan no ko gbe ni sa so ti no ba e so
Seven players that have won the woman to 200 more energy. Last time, send it to be a friend. see the open way. Not at the Bayou. Yeah, for Florida. You know, my friend, yeah, formula of the what you gonna shamble. Yeah, need to listen, but the end there. Yeah, only say coach, you know, bet me cry to buy and Tampana. I see a second, you see, I'm not for coach. Some of them don't want me any mukakra. So, what's happening in Yanni, Biano blast them with you.
A Kenyan regional governor has been charged with terrorism and murder over attacks in the coastal Lamu district, in which scores of people were killed. Isaac Timami was charged over the attack on the Impeketoni town area. He faces several charges including murder. Kenya's president has blamed the attacks on political networks, despite Somali Islamist group Al-Shabaab claiming responsibility. Most of the dead were ethnic Kikuyus, like the Kenyan president Uhuru Kenyatta. Non-Muslims were singled out to be killed. Mr. Timami belongs to a political affiliate of Mr. Kenyatta's governing Jubilee coalition. He will remain in police custody until 30th June while investigations continue.
That ends News Alert on Capital Television.